Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and today I'm going to show you how to install the new Tails 4.0 operating system for ultimate privacy and security. So let's get going. So I'm here at the Tails homepage. You can see here that Tails 4.0 is the latest version. So basically there is no Windows version, there's no Mac version. It's basically its own operating system. So what you need to do is just download the ISOs. All right, so we're going to be creating a bootable flash drive, but they would like to know what operating system you're using, so they give you some specific instructions. And here they give you instructions on copying someone else's Tails if they have the USB. Someone you can trust. All right, so you can see here they give you the time needed, the USB. I've got myself a decent 3.0 USB drive. And then I'll be installing on my laptop, so I'll be able to follow the instructions from my desktop. Now you might want to use your phone to follow the instructions or even print them out. All right, so I'm going to click this link here to start the download. And it's going to download an ISO file to my computer. So I'll just drop it in downloads, hit save. All right, now I can verify that in my browser using the Tails extension, which you might want to try. But I like the OpenPGP solution. I have the software installed. So I'm going to download their signature, which I'll just drop it right next to well, when we're done downloading, it'll be right next to my Tails installation file, my Tails installation file. Let's save here. All right, now there's a few things that you're going to need. You're going to need the GPG for Windows software to run this verification process. And then you're also going to need the developer signature. So I'm going to poke around for that. That should be over here. So they explain how you download GPG for Windows. All right, and then this is their signing key. This is what we need to get into our keychain. So there's the key file. I'll just download that. All right, now when you have GPG for Windows installed on your computer, they give you a little helper program called the Key Manager, called GPA. All right, and what I want to do is import that key that I just downloaded into this Key Manager, or key ring. This is a key ring full of developer signing keys. And you can see I've got some others for some other software that I've already downloaded. So I'm going to hit import here. And then I just navigate over to my desktop. So it's a little weird. They don't have all the shortcuts that Windows 10 usually has. But you can find your downloads folder just by clicking on the C drive, going to users, your name, and then you'll see all of your saved files here. So the one that I want is downloads. I'll just double click that. And I'm just going to look for that key that I downloaded. All right, I just sorted by date modified, and there's the Tails signing key that I just downloaded. All right, so I'll hit open. All right, and then you can see that it imported the keys into my key ring. So I have the Tails developer key. Now I'll be able to run the verification process once I get Tails downloaded. This is very important to determine that you have a legitimate, authentic copy of Tails and not one that's been substituted by an attacker. Right? So we'll just save that for later. Oh, it looks like I got the file already. So the file is already downloaded on my computer. In order to use my GPG verification software, I'm just going to use it in the command line. It's pretty easy. I'm just going to hold my shift key down and right click on this window. And you can see it says open PowerShell window here. Right? And that opens the PowerShell in the directory where I've got my two files. I can do a dir, and there's the Tails, okay? So I need the Tails signature file, and I'm just going to Control-C copy on that. Now, the command is gpg-verify, and then I'll just Control-paste that signature file first. And then the next file in this command line would be the installer file itself, which is exactly the same name minus that signature file extension. So I can just hit space, hit Control V again, and just delete that little extra part of the file name. So now I have this, the GPG command. I'm telling it to do the verify. I've got the tails signature file that I downloaded, and then I have the installer file itself. So it's going to run the verification on this. I'll hit enter. It's going to do a little churning. It is a big file. I mean, we're talking about the file itself is larger than a gigabyte, so it is going to take it a little while to run the verification on this file. All right, so it did take a little while, but there it is. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that good signature from Tails developers. All right, because I had their developer key in my keyring, they were able to verify this file and tell me that it was a good signature. And that's really all I need. There is a warning, which has to do with the fact that we didn't personally verify that signing key directly, but that's next to impossible in this day and age. I would have to go meet the developer, and then once I had his key given to me in person, then I could totally trust the developer's signature. So it was good enough for me to just download their signing key from the website. So now I know that I have a good copy of Tails. Now I want to just copy this over to my USB drive. So I'm going to take my USB drive, put it in my computer. All right, and I'm going to use a really cool program called PowerISO. Highly recommend PowerISO for burning images onto CD drives and onto USB drives. So I'm just going to go to Tools here, create a bootable USB drive. Going to switch me over to the admin, and I want to navigate here to my USB drive, my SanDisk Extreme. The image file will be the one that I downloaded and verified here. Tails. Hit open. All right, and then we'll hit start here. And it's going to override everything that was on that flash drive, so make sure you don't have anything you need on that flash drive. And there we go. See, that's one of the advantages of using the SanDisk Extreme 3.0. Operations go much faster. So we'll hit close here. All right, now that we've got Tails installed on our USB flash drive, we'll just grab our trusty laptop. We'll insert this in the side, and we'll get the laptop booted up. And remember to hold down F2 or delete to get yourself into the BIOS, so that you can change your boot disk. Okay, so I've done the best that I can here because we can't record video while we're installing an operating system, can we now? So I have a network cable that I can plug into this laptop when the time is right. There will be a point, I think, where it needs to connect to the internet. Okay, but until that time, we'll just go. I'm going to get as close to this screen as I can. Try to give you the full experience. All right, so we're going to boot up. Now I've got the delete key pressed down as I start up. All right, now on this particular computer in these BIOS, I can use the arrow keys to get myself over to the boot section. And then I just want to go down and move up the SanDisk Extreme. And I can do that by hitting the plus. Whoops, hit the plus, move up, hit the plus again. Now I've got that SanDisk at the top of the list, right? So it's going to boot from my flash drive. So I'll go ahead and hit F10, save, enter. All right, so we'll hit enter here, just let it boot up from Tails. All right, and this takes us to the greeter page. All these settings are fine with me. So I'm going to hit Start Tails. All right, now once you've got Tails connected, you have to decide, you know, I'm just going to play around with it here at the house. But if you're serious about Tails, you don't really want to be using it from your house if you want total anonymity, right? Because there will always end up being some kind of leaks. So it makes more sense for you to go to a coffee shop or a restaurant or some place where you can blend in with other people and you won't be conspicuous and connect to their Wi-Fi, and most likely using a VPN. So you might want to try and figure out a way to get a VPN installed in Tails so that you can use your VPN when you're connecting. But I'll go ahead and just plug in with my cable. All right. Now you'll notice that it said Tor is ready. So, whoops. I can now access the internet. That's because I plugged in my wire. So we can try that. We'll just hit Tor. Open the Onion circuits. Click on any circuit. All right, and you see here that they've got several pre-installed applications. You can just use the Tor browser. And we can maximize. And then we can continue to use Tails from here. So that's the easy, quick way to get Tails installed onto a USB flash and up and running on your laptop. Like I said, if you're really serious about Tails, you probably wouldn't want to connect to the internet from your own home. So I hope you enjoyed this. If there's any questions about anything that I did, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. Don't forget I have a live stream every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me for my live Q&A from Michigan and throw out any questions that you have. I'll do my best to get them answered right there on the fly. It's great fun. I hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.